Welcome to the Emerging Lawyer series at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is from law school gold medalist to corporate law. We have with us Nishant Tiwari, associate at Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, specializing in general corporate M&A private equity, a gold medalist from the Army Institute of Law, Mohali. His journey is nothing short of inspiring. Beyond the boardrooms and legal documents, he is an advocate for human rights, a voiceover artist, and the founder of Abhayam, a center for gender empowerment. Wow. At a young age, you're wearing multiple hats. That's very impressive. So, welcome, Nishant, to today's coffee conversation.
Thank you so much, Amir. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting.
So, let me explain you the flow, the format.
Sure.
We have got three rounds: professional, personal, and a rapid fire fun round, for which you have to be witty, fun, quick. And here's your book, autograph.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah. So this is latest book published from my site. So friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host of Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist, and author of 20 books. We have law firms, corporate legal, startups, and SMEs with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So my first question, Nishant,
Hmm.
what's been the most defining moment of your career so far?
Amir, I think most defining moment for any ordinary law school graduate is to get a job that they aspire. When I was graduating from college, I was placed with Ernst& Young in their GDS division. But then I got a job with DSK Legal, so I moved there. But I mean, it's an underlying aspiration of every law student that maybe someday I'd be there where people in tier one jobs are sitting. So when I got a job at Amarchand, I think that was the most satisfying aspect where I thought that my aspirations, my dreams, my efforts have gotten fructified. I mean, they have shown results. But I think that has made me who I am. So I would say getting a job at Amarchand was one of the most defining moments of my career.
So Nishant, you have worked in technology, real estate, education, and other sectors. So
Right.
how do you prepare for each industry sector because they have each sector is different?
I think you learn at the job. You just need to have a good team that teaches you. But I think I'll be honest. I started my career with technology. So when I was working with DSK Legal, the work was technology oriented. And then when I got into Amarchand, be it Sam or Cam, both the firms have got diverse clientele with clients of all sectors, of all domains. So thankfully, I mean, I got to work with teams wherein I had the opportunity of learning from different clienteles. But one thing that remains common in order to prepare for all the practice areas is that you keep your vision open. You try to apply yourself as much as you can, and you ask questions because as and when things start going haywire in your head, that will reflect in the document. So as and when there is a question, ask. That's the first thumb rule we all follow. But apart from that, I think one very basic understanding is also that you read in your free time. You cannot be working in a practice area without having knowledge of what that practice area entails and what all there is, because that is how, as a fresh associate, you broaden your outlook of understanding the scope of a practice area. So I think these are two sine qua nons.
Wow. So Nishant, with your experience in both big law firms and startups, how do legal challenges differ for emerging companies versus established corporation?
Okay, so they are entities working in totally separate domains, right? So the approach itself is different. When it's a law firm, the approach is more of preventive. You try to bring out to your client that these are the risks, and you enlist everything from A to Z. Even if you know that it is not really going to impact the client, of course you write a caveat that we have been given to understand. We understand that this is not the scenario, but you are trying to tell the client to the best of your ability that this is the law. These are the risks that you are looking at right now. But when it's companies, I think the most integral aspect is integrating law with business. You have to understand as a business counsel that what is the best position for you, what is the best position for your business, and how can you mitigate law plus business to make the best profits. So that is more of a precautionary approach. The approach itself differs, and while the tiff between law firm lawyers and in-house lawyers is always going on strong, wherein in-house counsels elevate allegations of law firm counsels not understanding the business. I think it's just a matter of different approaches. That's how.
Wow. So, Nishan, law is known for its long hours and high pressure environment. So, how do you maintain efficiency while handling high stakes transactions?
Yeah, let me be honest, I don't. I mean, I have been into this profession for 2 years. I'll not be pretentious. I'm being very honest. I do succumb to stress. I do succumb to panic. I do tend to get stressed, but thankfully speaking, I mean, I am in a team wherein, seniors understand that you only have limited exposure and expectations do tend to get you stressed as a junior. So while I'm also told at times to be in check, not to take too much stress, try to keep myself sorted mentally, and that's how deliverables will be impacted in a positive manner. But I think the most important thing that I try doing is I minimize my caffeine intake, because that was a bad habit that I picked up in the first year of law firm job. I used to consume a lot of coffee, and that resulted in a lot of anxiety. Now that vicious circle keeps going round and round, anxiety leads you to consume more coffee, and that coffee leads you to get more anxiety. So that is one thing that I've done. And two is I try breaking down the task into smaller bits. You take a step-by-step approach towards whatever the problem is, because that helps you stay efficient, that helps you keep a track of your time. Now you are not biding your time, you're not spending more time than required, which I often do, I'll be honest. And you also understand in a procedural manner as to what you should be doing, how you should be tackling the problem. And that also effectively helps you understand as an associate, where are you getting stuck. So if you feel that it's something that you cannot overcome with your own research, it is something that requires inputs from practice, you ask your seniors, and that gets the task across. But I mean, that initiative has to come from you. That's my point.
Wow. So, being a gold medalist from Army Institute of Law, how has it impacted your law career?
Hmm, that's a good question. Actually, that's something that I would like to tell to my juniors also from college. But I mean, that's a regular debate, right? Whether grades affect your job or not. And this is not a cardinal principle. This might vary for people from case to case basis. I totally acknowledge that. But speaking about myself personally, I think my grades definitely helped me get interviews. I interviewed for a lot of firms, but I mean, initially, not only during my A0 time when I wanted to get a breakthrough as a fresher, but also when I was switching jobs. I think your rank and your academic merit makes you stand apart from other candidates. Why? Because this is something that my fifth year senior told when I was a first year, second year law student. I was told that you're here to study. And if you have not been able to do that well enough, that tells you a lot. That tells a lot about you. So I think grades are important. I'll be very basic about it. Grades are
Wow.
important in my vision. You don't really need to be a topper to get a good job. But as long as you are maintaining a good rank, a decent rank, any law firm will want to give you a chance to present yourself, show how enterprising you are. And of course, grades are not everything, right? I could be a topper, but if I, in an interview, I'm not able to showcase to my employer, my prospective employer, that I can convert my skills, my talent into positive outflow, then all of that is not worth the while. All of that is in vain. So while you need to have grades, you need to also show it in an interview that those grades are legit. You have not been cheating, because grades can only get you until interview. In the
Yeah.
interview, in that closed space, you're on your own with that piece of paper where you just show to the employer how good can you be. And of course, I think the approach from law firm recruiters is different. They will not want to screen out people on the basis of not being meritoriously good enough, but it's very important to see where are you coming from and where do you envision to go, how ambitious are you. That determines how good the firm is for you and how good are you for the firm. So I'll keep that crisp in this manner. But yes, I think grades have definitely helped me get interviews, even in scenarios where firms were not hiring, where partners were not hiring. And I do not intend to be braggish about it, but I was told this, that partners are not hiring, recruitment is closed. But the CV was given an opportunity because it said gold medalist. So, I mean, that helps. In my case, it helped.
Wow. So, Nishant, what got you into research and how has it been?
Okay, research is the basic quality that a lawyer has to have. I'll be very honest. In my law college, I used to do a lot of research, and writing a lot of research papers was a hobby. I wanted to write a lot of research papers. I wanted to be a philosopher only. That was another chain of thought. But then in my fourth year, fifth year, I also tried doing other roles. I did website development, I did brand building, social media management. I also worked with Vahura, and I was working with legal market intelligence, legal business strategy verticals there. I was under a great mentor and I was taught the basics of legal tech. Then I worked with Prologue. Prologue was another envisioning startup. It was an ethics startup, and it tried to show to lawyers what are alternative career roles. But after all of this roaming around, all of this wandering around, when I came back to law, while I had a holistic vision of what all does law have to offer, but I think research I got better at only after I started in a law firm, because the expectations from research that are there as an intern are fundamentally different from that of an associate. Now, as an associate, you are accountable for what you tell. As an associate, people can look back at you and ask you, why was it not done? I mean, it was right here in front of you. So while research is a compounding skill, the more you do, the better you get at it. But again, something that I was told by my senior at Amarchand only, your research does not end until you are over with all the keywords, and two, until you are on the last page of Google that is telling you no more search results. That is the end of your research, and that is how it should be, because I've seen that while your first four, first 10, first 15 results might not show you anything positive, something or the other you are bound to find. Something or the other is bound to be incidental to what you're looking at. So, research is a skill that you start fostering when you are in A0 and you just keep getting better at it. You never stop doing it. Even when a junior does it, you do it again. Even when I do it, my senior will do it again. It has to be convincing. And I think very important skill, very crucial skill, but law students can get better at it from the get-go by using SCC and Manupatra. Those are the best softwares out there for you, and get a skill of it.
Wow. So, thank you for leading me to the next question.
Hmm.
As part of your research work in college, and you have published uh, in for numerous publications and legal journals. Are there any plans for writing your own book and what it will be all about?
Mm, that's a very good question. Uh, I could. Given, I mean, right now, I don't think I have done anything deserving enough to have a book of its own. But yes, there are certain thoughts that at times come running in my mind, and I am just anxious about them getting them onto paper. And to be honest with you, I tried writing a book when I was in class 11th and class 12th. I was working on a book, and that it was based on Mahabharata. And at that point of time, we had read a lot of books. They were written from the point of view of Pandavas, from point of view of Draupadi. But we wanted to write something from point of view of Shakuni. We wanted to highlight to the world of what does a brother go through when he sees these series of sacrifices happening in his family for the benefit of some other kingdom. That was the initiative. So I think that that desire is still in me. But if someday I end up writing a book, I think I'll call it Still Learning.
Wow,
I,
beautiful.
as a person, wouldn't stop learning. I think that's a very important quality.
Wow, beautiful. So, Nishant, you were part of the SAM Diversity Collective, advocating for marginalized communities. How do you see DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, shaping in the legal world?
I think it's right now it's assuming a lot of importance that it earlier did not, and wrongly so, because DEI has to be always at the center stage of whatever you're doing. You, as an organization, cannot have a workforce that does not feel appreciated. And even if people work for you, they will never be happy or satisfied about working for you. So you have to be social, you have to connect with them on a humanitarian level. This is of course coming from my limited experience of legal industry. But I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to apply for SAM in the first place was because of SAM Diversity Collective. And that is an initiative that comes from the management itself, right? So Ms. Shweta Shroff, she runs it. It's her brainchild. And if something is coming from the management level itself, it has got to have that veracity of organizational ethos. So I was certain that a firm that is trying to appreciate the diversity of its people has to be one of the best firms, best workplaces to be working in, and I wasn't wrong. But I mean, just to highlight, Sam, because of its diversity collective, has also been nominated apart from other firms across the world, but I think only numerous, so four or few firms that have been nominated for diversity awards. So that work has been incredible. The output has been incredible. But one thing that still disheartens me is after the political change of guard in the USA, DEI policies have started falling away because of change in ideology. And now major IT firms, they are rolling back their DEI policies, which is a step towards the ruin. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to tell people that diversity does not matter? Just removing the thought that there is diversity is not going to bring equality, right? You have to acknowledge, you have to cherish, and then you have to promote. So I think right now we are inculcating a lot of women lawyers in the field, in judiciary as well, in corporate law firms. And the step ahead towards it, I think, has to be towards acknowledging that there is more to gender, there is more to sexuality over and beyond these social constructs that have been created in the society. So I think that is going to take that's going to take time. Of course, Rome wasn't built in a night, but I'm looking forward to it. This change is going to come.
Wow. So, Nishant, who has influenced you from the legal world?
Many people. Okay, so I think when you read about luminaries, when I was a law student in a first year itself, we had this book Roses in December by MC Chagla. And he had written about how was it like being a lawyer, being on the bar, representing India on an international level in front of ICJ. I think that was the breakthrough. But after reading about the luminaries that are there right now, I think every law student, every law graduate, recent law graduate is just a fan of recent CJI, Mr. Chandrachud. So I think he is one person that I definitely look up to, because it is not easy to come to a position of power and try to actually bring on ground change in position of what exists. And while people can argue that somebody has been appointed from privilege, somebody has come from privilege, what you have to also acknowledge and look at is, what did that person try to do? They have tried to bring out a positive change. They have tried to bring out a change in how law is interpreted. They have tried to, for a change, they have tried to connect law with society as on date. And I think the way Mr. Chandrachud has connected law with society and law with ideology, that's amazing. The kind of judgments that he has given, the kind of explanations that he gives, I think that connects every lawyer to the roots of Indian society. And he would be one person that I would always look up to.
Wow. Okay. So my last question, how has technology helped you and which legal tech tool has impacted your work?
I think being at CAM, legal tech is not something that you can shy away from. CAM right now has been running at the forefront of introducing legal tech. And while when I joined Amarchand at SAM only 1 year ago, I was introduced to Litera. And Litera is one tool that has got in its category all of legal tech tools that you will need for redlining documents, for PDFs, for Excel documents. There's a lot that it has to offer, and these are documents that we all use in our day-to-day life, right? These are documents that help us running our business on a day-to-day life. So I mean, for me, the first thing, and for any other associate, I'm pretty sure the first thing when a document comes from the other side, you run a litera compare. I think that has become the lingo. Run a litera compare. So that's the first software. But as I was saying, that being at CAM, it has forced everybody, the firm has forced everybody in a positive manner to start implementing AI, to start adopting technology, because CAM as a firm acknowledges that it's important to move ahead with time. It's important to inculcate technology in the field of law, because let's stop being in denial. AI is not going anywhere, and legal profession will have to adopt AI someday or the other. I think recently CAM has also introduced its partnership with Harvey AI, and the firm has adopted an approach towards adopting the software, towards imbibing the software in its day-to-day working. So the functions that CAM has to offer in legal tech, they are totally not at all limited. And one thing, while I would say that has immensely helped me personally, is something very basic but very crucial to my working. I think it's knowledge management software I manage. I manage has helped people across India in connecting and bringing them to a uniform stage of understanding what is the quality that the firm desires to offer to its clients. And that helps immensely, because that quality has to be the same for every client that you're serving, right? Every client that you're delivering to. So I manage as a software which allows a team sitting in Delhi to see, for the uninitiated, I'm just trying to explain what I manage does. I manage as a knowledge management software. So you upload documents from wherever you are across India, and whoever is connected through that organization software can access that document based on certain keywords that they input to search the documents. And this search model, I could say, more or less works on the same search model of Manupatra or SEC Online. You just type a keyword, the document comes up, you see if it suits your requirements. This knowledge management part I think I'm a huge fan of, because if I'm sitting in Delhi and I want to see a draft of a team that has advised one client in energy sector in Ahmedabad, I want to do that. I don't want to call up an associate and request for a document. I can do that right away. And demands do come up, right? These are simultaneous demands. They do come up anytime. So I think personally for me, I manages the way.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to the next round and understand Nishant as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
So my family, I come from a defense background. My father was in the Indian Army. He's a veteran now. He's retired. But I think one very amazing or peculiar thing about my life was that I saw all of India. I was born in Allahabad, and then we went to Guwahati, Assam. Then we went to Secunderabad in the south. Then we went to New Delhi. Then we went to Jammu and Kashmir. Then we came back to Allahabad. So I've seen all of India. That has allowed me to adapt. That has allowed me to interact with many people from different cultures. And I think that has opened my mind to the world, that there is so much to know. There is so much to look at. But yes, I mean that those are the formative years, but the skills that are required from those three years at every place, I think those skills have remained with me. That adaptability has come from there.
Wow. So I'm a little curious. Why did you go to Army Institute of Law and not other law school? And how has the experience?
um, to be honest, very honest, there were two reasons. One, when I was applying, the deadline for CLAT was already over, so I couldn't apply for CLAT. I could only apply for colleges that have their own entrance exams. That was one. But two, from my parents' perspective, security was always there in favor of Army Institute of Law. Because given the circumstances, they would always prefer me going to a defense, to an institute that is run under the aegis of defense than any other college. So yes, AIL was a definite win from both the sides. There was no debate about it, and that is why AIL just came through, and I went to Chandigarh.
Wow. So after a long day of reviewing contracts, structuring deals, how do you unwind?
Okay. When you come back home, I think on a day-to-day basis, what really helps me is one good cup of masala chai. I make it myself. Then I sit, I listen to melodies by Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, Kishore Kumar, Muhammad Rafi, Mukesh. Also listen to Madam Noor Jahan from Pakistan. But all these melodies, they help me soothe down, they help me calm down. And that gives me a break from the entire day of running here and there, from getting deliverables done. After taking a break from that stressful working day, I think that is a period that I look forward to.
Wow. Being a lawyer involves in constant learning. What's a hobby or skill you have picked up outside the legal world?
That's interesting. So, while I used to paint intermittently, I mean that painting used to help me get out the stress, take a break, stop thinking, bring that creative side of my brain to life. In CAM, there is one amazing initiative. It's called the Book Club. So CAM has its own book club, and it's run by partners themselves. So we pick up a book that has to be read on a monthly basis, and then we all meet at the end of the month and we discuss as to what did we take from that book, what was our outlook, what did we think the book delivered, where the book lagged. So that is one hobby that has brought my reading skills back to life, which were quite rusty after 2 years of working in law firms. But yes, these two things I think help me maintain my sanity.
Wow. So, Nishan, you have a passion for recording audiobooks for the visually impaired. So, what inspired you to venture into this and how has it been?
This was this started when I was in the third year of law school, and my initiative of doing something for the society, it was not only for the namesake. That question, I was always brought up with the question that whatever you're doing to people, always question yourself. How would you feel if that same thing is done to your family? And my father and my mother, both of them were akin to this thought process that you should never be unkind to anybody. So when that was the thought process, I grew with the outlook of trying to do something for the society. So there was always something or the other, whether it was organizing anti-drug drive, or whether it was environment awareness drive in college, or creating gender empowerment society to advocate for women empowerment and LGBTQI plus communities. So there was something or the other that always I kept myself indulged in, and that is when I came across this NGO called Visionaries. And this is what we need with minimal effort, right? We as human beings who are indulged, who are employed, the excuse that we feed to ourselves at the end of the day is ki, I want to do something, but I don't have time. How do I go out? How do I make time? Saturday and Sunday, I have to spend with the family. So Visionaries was trying to do something different. It's the way it's run is they create groups, they send books and pages of certain documents that have to be recorded for differently able people, visually differently able people, and you record and send them through. That is your shortcut that caters to your excuse of not doing something. And that is why I just pitched in. I wanted to record books, but more so the satisfaction came from this fact that somebody is listening to these audiobooks and somebody is looking at the world from my voice, is looking at the book using my voice. I think that was the most motivating factor.
Wow. As someone who has lived and worked in different cities, which one has been your favorite and why, Nishan?
Wow, this question has really ruined people and their careers. I really don't think I should be commenting on this, but I think Delhi will always have preference over other cities. Why? Because it's closer to home. And being one person who really likes staying closer to the family, I think Delhi is the city that I'm going to be in. I liked it.
Wow. So, Nishan, what made you found Abhayam Social Impact a project,
Hmm.
and how has the journey been?
Abhyam, just to give you an essence of the term, Abhyam comes from a Sanskrit term. It means fearlessness. And when I went to my English professor at that point of time in AIL, Army Institute of Law, Dr. Sheetal Kapoor, I went to her and told her that I want to create a society because AIL at that point of time was really patriarchal. Toxic masculinity was at its zenith, and mm, misogyny or calling names. It was always a priority. I really don't want to say that, but yes, that is how it was. So at that point of time, I went to her. I told her that I want to create something that helps fight this toxic atmosphere that's spreading in the institute. And she came up with this term. She coined it Abhyam. Abhyam means fearlessness. So the journey was great. It started with denial. It started with a lot of resistance from the college administration itself. But then we had volunteers coming in. We started giving sessions of telling people about different identities, of looking beyond social construct. And slowly but steadily, people started understanding that there is so much more that they don't know of. And these are just kids that have come into college from class 11th, class 12th, right? They wouldn't know any better, and they don't even know what are they doing on the basis of unconscious bias, something that has been fed to them by the society that they don't even know of. So I think by the end of the year, when we graduated after 2 years of working for Abhyam, it was running at a self-sustainable pace. It was run by a group of volunteers, my juniors, very competent juniors. But slowly after we graduated, there were a lot of challenges that they faced in their careers. And college administration can level certain level of threatening against college students. So then it was halted for a while. But I think Abhyam for its time managed to do something that was deeply required, was direly required in AI.
Wow. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Nishant in one line.
A person determined to be jack of all trades.
Wow. Let's go to the next round, the fun round, the rapid fire.
Okay.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
A mantra you live by.
Perseverance.
Go to comfort food.
Chai.
Your favorite color.
Black.
Your favorite ice cream.
Mm. Chocolate.
Wow. One word description of your law school experience.
Turbulent.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Okay.
But right now I'm sipping on coffee. That's ironical, but yes.
You did well. And here's a book, AI,
Yes.
Legal AI 101, Understanding and Adopting AI in Your Practice. So
Why don't you
you're at
tell
the
us
right
about the book,
place
Amit?
with the right book. Read this and take it to your book club for discussion.
No, no, that's a
I'll
definite
I'll give you
recommendation.
autograph copies for your book club.
That's a
All
definite recommendation. I'm going to
volunteers.
pitch it. But why don't you tell us about the book? What have you tried to bring out?
See,
This is one
uh,
of your numerous publications, by the way. You have also
yeah,
written.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Yes.
about how AI is important in law firm.
Hmm.
So
That's it.
for research work, for contract drafting, for contract analysis, so many things now AI is taking up, but AI cannot replace human.
Are you
So
sure?
yes, AI is an enabler. I've been having different conversations with ye coffee speakers from different fields.
Hmm.
So all of them have agreed how to use AI. Now this career is coming up. What do you say? Prompt engineering.
Oh, wow. What is that about?
It see when you're using ChatGPT for
Hmm.
research work or
Yeah.
anyone is using in the office. So the first thing there has to be policies that has to be defined. Second thing is you have to give the prompts in ChatGPT for whatever research work, for you
Hmm.
to make an email, anything.
Right.
So that कि भैया मुझे make a business plan. Study this thing and give me analysis. So
Hmm.
you have to give what do you say, your prompt has to be well written. So
Right.
then ChatGPT can give you better answers.
Right. That's
They
right.
give you plans also, they give you email sequences, so many things
Hmm.
in what do you say, mind map format, so many things.
It's a world in
Visual.
itself, for real.
Yeah, yeah. So, yes, through the different tools like Copilot. So many law firms have adopted Copilot, ChatGPT,
Yes.
and the yeah, they're investing in training to use AI,
Hmm. Right.
ये अपना ChatGPT, Harvey, Copilot, Gemini. So
Hmm.
it is all about, see, like you do basic research, but there has to be vetted.
Right.
There was a recent case in ये ITAT Bangalore.
Okay.
ये something had happened, and there was uh, mm, the case went wrong because of the case study done by ChatGPT. So it's all about, see,
That's
in
hallucination.
senior,
No? That's a huge debate right now in the
senior has
industry.
to go through the research work, everything, ask questions to the junior, कि हाँ भाई, from what is the source? See, if you're using SEC online, so now in LexNexis, there is AI tool. So everywhere
Yes.
there is AI is been encrypted.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
For using and अपना ये है कि भाई vetting, hmm, ये has to be done. So use it carefully.
I've heard
Yeah.
people, Amir, who claim that AI can replace humans, in fact.
Yeah. So like so many people, like one of my coffee speakers, he does his, what do you say, ये health plan in ChatGPT.
Wow.
He's
That's
put it all
interesting.
his, yeah, he's put it all his data, stats in ChatGPT, and that ChatGPT is helping him monitor his statistics.
I hope that keeps him safe from IP
Yeah,
challenges. There can be many.
yeah. So what he said, because he's a AI visionary, he said beautifully. See, in USA, doctors or in India also don't give that much time.
Right.
Then you have to have these tools to monitor your health. So
That's
it's all
true.
about same thing anywhere, research, whatever.
Hmm.
It has to be monitored and yeah, give them directions. So there's movies also there which I've written a movie review of Kriti Sanon,
Hmm.
Human Robot
Yes.
of
That
Shahid Kapoor. Dimple
Shai.
Kapadia made that अपना ये humanoid. But emotion, everything, knowledge has put into a humanoid, na, in Kriti. So
That's
she is
true.
all able to emote, react.
Hmm.
So what information you're giving in, that will come out. And
That's
that's
true. I mean,
that's for us.
coexistence is the only key. As I said, I
Yeah.
don't think AI is going anywhere.
Yeah. So that's
Right?
why I said,
Integration has to happen today or tomorrow.
yeah. So it's an enabler, not a disruptor.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. S- It see so many industries wherever it has ये है, it will bring in disruption and ये है कि next level of tools, products will come in. So it
Well,
does
I
venture into
hope so
medicine
because I
also.
think
So
cost
that's why this book was
cutting.
all about what are the applications where AI has come in the legal
Yes,
and
that is
what are
our
the different tools.
next recommendation for the book club.
Yeah, please do that. Okay, let me wind up.
Yes.
Apna, yeah. So, friends, it was a lovely conversation having with Nishant Tiwari, coming from an army family and going to Army Institute of Law as coming from the army background. So he had to go to that law college. But besides, in this episode is all about corporate M&A. He has been, what do you say, helping visually impaired people with his audiobooks. And he's also uh, contributed for gender equality in the college through his Abhayam. So, uh, so lawyers don't have a dull life. They know how to balance ये work life as well as ये अपना personal life. So this episode is very inspiring. कि Nishant through his college still uh, is being contributing, and we look forward to his book, which will be writing soon.
Let's hope so,
And
inshallah.
again, he has connected with his reading passion at camp where they have a book club. That's very interesting. Okay, law firms are also igniting creative interest. So subscribe to the Coffee Corner Show, which has over 400 plus episodes from different subject experts who have shared their insights from personal, professional subject topics and implement them. If you want to be invited, like Nishant, visit our LinkedIn page, our company page, the Emerging India Forum, DM, and our team will invite you to have coffee conversation. Take care.
Thanks, Hamid. Thanks for inviting.
Yeah.